I'm just trying to disappoint you because you're so good at reading this book to your daughter. I hate my life.
Go for it.
Okay. Holy guacamole! Exclaimed Skippy John Jones. What was that? So up he went again, and again it appeared. Then, in his best Spanish accent, Skippy John Jones said, "My ears are too big for my head, and my head is too big for my body. I'm not a Siamese cat at all. I'm a Chihuahua." So this story is called Skippy John Jones, and it's by Judy Shoshner. And I have fallen in love with this book. It's just so lighthearted and entertaining. It's about this Siamese kitten who really just doesn't know who he is in life. And his mom has spurred him to do a little bit of soul searching. So he's determined that he's not a cat, but a Chihuahua. So he goes on a little adventure, meets up with like a little band of Chihuahuas, and has some fun. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Every morning, Skippy John Jones woke up with the birds, and this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down from here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with the birds, or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Mrs. Doohickeys' bird bath." The lecture went on and on. "You got to do some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a Siamese cat. Not a bird, or a mouse, or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a bat or a rat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat." But once he was alone, Skippy John Jones began to bounce, and he bounced on his bed. And he sang, "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I bounced on my bed, and once or 6 times I land on my head." On his way down to earth, from a gigantic big bounce, Skippy John Jones passed his mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippy John Jones. "What was that?" So again he went up, and again it appeared. Then, in his best Spanish accent, Skippy John Jones said, "My ears are too big for my head, and my head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat. I am a Chihuahua." Back on land, Skippy John Jones climbed into his toy box and rumbled through his old junk. After putting on his hat and his sword, and then climbing onto his mouse, he began to sing in a muy soft voice. "My name is Skippy Fresquito. I feel not a single bandito. My manners are mellow, I'm sweet like the jello, and I get the job done, yes indeedo." Skippy John Jones was not thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. With a walk into his closet, he was down in a lonesome desert in old Mexico. Not long into his mysterious journey, a band of Chihuahuas encountered him. "Ay caramba, who goes there?" said Skippy John. "We go by the names Los Chimichangos," said Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Who are you?" "I am El Scapito, the great sword fighter," said Skippy John Jones. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. "Why the mosquito, dude?" said Paquito Tito. "I go incognito," said Skippy John Jones. "Do you like rice and beans?" said Pintolito. "See, I love mice and beans," said Skipito. "He might be the dog of our dreams," cried Rosalita. "Perhaps," said Timia, "if he knows the secret password." And then Skippy John Jones went up to Don Diego and half sneezed, half spoke the secret password into his very large ears. "Ah, Chupichu!" "Bless you!" cried San Diego. "Gracias," said Skipito. "Then it is true," declared Don Diego. Then all the chimichangos went loco, and they had a fiesta, then a siesta. But after waking up, the chimichangos got down to the serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture in the sand of the great Bumbubito for Skipito to see. "Alfredo Bazito," whispered the crowd. "El blimpo Bumbubito bandito." Then, "The bandito steals our frijoles." "Not your beans!" cried Skippy John Jones. "See, and now he comes for us," Paquito said. "You are the dog for the job." "Me!" cried Skippy John Jones. But before Skippy had a chance to come up with a plan, a giant shadow came across the landscape. and all the chimichangos fled in every direction. "Vámonos, Scipio, or your Bambito will eat you." Scipio stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like the jello, and his teeth chattered like castanets. Then, in a muy soft voice, he said, "My name is Scipio Frisquito, and I fear not a single bandito." But Alfredo Bazito flew right at him, and before you knew it, he was inches from the sword fighter's face. "Holy frioles!" said Skippy John Jones. He thrust his sword up into the air, and pop! Went the bandito, landing on Scipio's sword, and quicker than one could say chihuahuas, cheese, and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out at Skippy John Jones. Back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from his room that Mama Junebug Jones and her daughters had to see just what was going down. "Bandito, Crashito, Papito!" Just in time to see Skippy John Jones explode from the closet, they walked in. "Skippy John Jones!" "Hola, muchachos." Mama's Junebug Jones lifted up Skippy John Jones and covered his head in furry, purry kitten kisses. "What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs?" That night, when he was supposed to be sleeping, Skippy John Jones began to bounce, and he bounced, and he bounced on his big boy bed. And he said, "Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones with a mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that." "Say goodnight, Skippy John Jones," said his mother. "Buenos noches, mis amigos."